Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, January 8th, around noontime, Mountain Time, 2022. We've got snow, more snow in Alberta Clipper, going to be hitting the Northeast, and some snow in the Southern Rockies. But the big story, record snow, serious flooding, left Seattle cut off from Washington State. Keep calm. It's boom time. What's going on? There's been flooding. Snoqualmie Pass closed. Stevens Pass closed. White Pass. I-5 closed and closed. And we're going to get to it in just a moment. Let's get to some of the storm totals first. Digging out. Here's how much snow West Michigan ended up with. And it was quite a bit. Take a look at this. Wata, Vliet, 22. Decatur, 20. Keeler, 20. Zeeland, 18. And the totals are pretty epic there. Quite a big lake effect event here. And you can see some of those totals. Kalamazoo, big winner. Chicken dinner, 18 plus. Some areas could see up to 2 feet there. And that system is over, but there's more lingering snow on the lakes as winter storm rips through the eastern U.S., causing record-breaking snowfall in areas like, well, Buffalo and, of all places, Kentucky, getting pretty plucky. It also snowed 8 inches in New York City, of all places. Very hard to get 8 inches of snow in New York City on any winter. And here is the daily snowfall total broken at the Buffalo airport, crushing the 1974 record. And in my stomping ground, Lower Makefield, Northeast Philly, 4 inches. Valley Forge got 4. Medford, New Jersey got 5.1. So some snow in the southeastern Pennsylvania region. But Nashville saw 6.3 inches. The most snow ever till fall in Kentucky is 10 inches, and that's approaching the most snow ever. And that was in Nashville. So that was quite a record to be smashed there, as well as Leavenworth. Take a look at this. Mountain passes remain closed as other areas see major flooding. That's happening now, and we'll be talking more about the flooding. 36 inches of snow in 24 hours in Leavenworth as they declare state of emergency due to record snowfall. Leavenworth, in fact, declared a state of emergency as 36 inches of snow fell in one single night. And that, well, breaks roofs, crushes dreams. New York City region battered by the snowstorm, 8+ inches in some spots. Holy macaroni, and we got to pay for this one. I'm sorry. Won't be paying for that, San Francisco Chronicle. Nor'easter causes dangerous travel conditions across southern Maine. It's insane. And let's take a moment to take a look at the 24, 48, and 72-hour snowfall totals. Here's the 72-hour total. You can see that heavy lake effect snow there in Michigan. You could see the record-breaking snow in Washington State here. That black hole up to 8-10 feet in some areas in just 3 days. So that's all going to melt out in the spring, ding ding. So we could be in for some epic flooding, but it's flooding right now. In fact, record-shattering rain drenches western Washington to close out the week and flood. Many farms, many rivers have come up quite a bit. In fact, evacuations were ordered due to imminent flooding from heavy rain in Washington State, and they even closed I-5 for a little bit. It is reopened, but flooded rivers are yet to crest. In fact, we do have some of the graphs here, and they did, in fact, crest, but take a look at this.
I spoke with people impacted by the flood. She joins us live from Centralia.
Dan, as you can imagine, when I'm talking to these homeowners, they see this amount of water outside their homes. They say it's so stressful and it makes them sick. If you can just imagine, look at this here. The water is still rushing completely around this house as well. And all of this water is all the way up to the roadway too. And honestly, earlier today, it was even worse because we were seeing people stranded on top of their cars that were submerged in floodwaters. And we found out when we checked in with emergency officials that emergency responders ended up conducting 21 water rescues earlier today, and that was through Chehalis, Centralia, and Lewis County.
So we're talking the Chehalis River, and here we have the Chehalis River. It did crest last night at 145.21 feet. This is the second highest crest in recorded history, and the record was 147 feet here, just a few feet higher, and that was back in 2007. Of all time. So cosmic rays may have a lot to do with this. Increased rain, increased snow, and this should be epically increasing as cosmic rays increase as we deepen into the grand solar minimum. Blizzard conditions in North Dakota. Variety of weather impacts as well across the east. Blizzard conditions can be expected today in North Dakota. Once again, they were just in blizzard watch 72 hours ago. Freezing rain will bring travel impacts to the Midwest. today, and from the mid-Atlantic to New England tomorrow. A few strong, severe thunderstorms are expected today across the Arc, Latex, and Sunday into Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. So, winter storm watches and warnings up in blue, blizzard warnings in red, freeze, extreme cold in Montana and central Montana, Great Falls. So, bundle up. And we'll come over here to real quick check out the next few days of the GFS model. And you can see that snow falling here right outside the door. It is, in fact, flurrying. And the southern mountains will pick up to 8 inches. It's just a nice little powder day. Some snow in the northern Cascades there, and a little clipper's going to move through the Midwest. And take a look. There's going to be some good snow totals in the Catskills, the Adirondacks, and upstate New York there. So heads up. Right there. Look at that. That's going to be ongoing. Pennsylvania going to be picking up a little bit of it. You should be expecting this snow tomorrow, Sunday into Monday in the Northeast. And we're going to be seeing snow here through tomorrow as well. So there's your quick forecast. And we're not the only snowy place on Earth. In fact, at least 16 were stranded. Snow tourists die in Pakistan Hill Station. Now, people are flocking to snow that in regions that hasn't snowed in a while. And that means, well, loss of life. 16 tourists died in freezing temperatures after being stranded in their vehicles in northern Pakistan, where thousands had flocked to enjoy the snow. With some 1,000 vehicles still stranded, the government has declared Muri, northeast of the capital of Islamabad, a calamity area. For the first time in 15, 20 years, such large numbers of tourists flocked to Muri. It's almost like what happened here in Tahoe. And, well, it resulted in, take a look at some of these cars buried. I think a lot of these deaths are from people running their vehicle as snow built up and carbon monoxide backing into the vehicles. That's actually probably what happened there. And you can see some of the devastation here in these pictures. Take a look at that. Trees down, cars stuck. And you know that they're not prepared here. This guy has a blanket on and sneakers. These people are not prepared for this type of situation. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance, especially when you're in a sedan with front wheel drive that just got smashed by a tree and you don't even have a pack of nuts in the car, for goodness sakes. So be smart. Northern snow mass for the northern hemisphere, excluding the mountains, is in record territory. In fact, it is in a position about a month earlier than it should be as far as the winter. So we're in record-breaking territory out of the 30-year normal going back to 1982. We were back before that, 1970 snows. So be advised. Also, the Arctic Sea extent. This data is hard to come by because they're hiding it, but right here is the continuation of 2022 into January, and it is showing the highest Arctic ice ever recorded on the entire graph. And that's because they eliminated the past to make it look like we're burning up, when in fact, we have the highest Arctic sea ice extent the first week of January in 20 years. And it is quite significantly higher than all the other years, by maybe 15, 20% higher than any of the last 20 years. And those are the facts. Space weather news update. We're out of KP0, but that doesn't mean we're out of geomagnetic watch, because the cosmic ray alert will continue for at least 12 to 24 hours past this point, because it has a geo-effective, it's going to be geo-effective for at least 24 hours. So, and you can see here all the stations reading KP0 at some point over the last 4 days. So take it easy if you're in those high risk categories. Seismic update. We are in a seismic watch uptick for big events. The largest event we've seen in the last 24 hours, an event over in China, 6.6 magnitude. I don't know if they've downgraded it. I can't click on it. There it is, 5.1, way down from the initial 6. 5.2 in Alaska. And so all quiet on the Western Front. No big quakes happening as of now. Worldwide volcano news update. We've got lots of new volcanoes erupting, and, well, let's talk about it. Erta Ale volcano update. The lava lake remains active, according to a field report, and there you can, in fact, see Erta Ale is, in fact, active. And Wolf volcano. A lot of people sending me emails about this volcano. Not a very particularly significant volcano, but it is in the Galapagos, and it is re-erupting after maybe 5 years of quiet with a new effusive eruption which started yesterday. In fact, Wolf Island is a shield volcano on a mid-ocean ridge type of scenario like Iceland, where we have fissure eruptions, also like La Palma, very similar basaltic lava, not violent, not particularly earth-shattering or changing. So that's the update on the volcanoes. Now, life in the dead heart of Australia. Now, the heart of Australia is hot. and it's red. There's lots of red beds, a lot of iron oxide, and now a new incredible Lagerstadt fossil site discovered. Conservat Lagerstadt is when soft body parts like insects, feathers, very delicate plants, and leaves are instantly fossilized, or, and that's my opinion, or as they teach us in the literature, are in an anoxic environment, very protected, and through a long process, we have Conservat Lagerstadt, which is perfect preservation, and in this case, of a spider, for goodness sakes. You can even see the abdomen and the interior of the abdomen. It's just fascinating. And take a look, a feather. The odds of a feather being fossilized back in the Miocene, this is the time frame of these fossils. And here's an interesting side bit I want to talk about. These Miocene fossils are worldwide, not just Australia. They're in England, they're in Americas, where we find Conservat Lagerstadt of leaves, plants, and insects like no other time on Earth. And I think that during the Miocene, what we had was an uptick in electrical activity, causing amazing preservation of things like these leaves, which look like they fell yesterday. But in fact, they fell 14 million years ago on Earth. Absolutely fascinating. The link to the article will be below. And there is a drastic rise in high Arctic lightning, as scientists are very worried. We've been talking about this for 5 years. We've predicted an uptick in electrical activity, massive lightning storms, lightning bolts getting, well, unprecedented to the point of where you won't even recognize the surface of the Earth you're living on. So, and it's already happening in the Arctic. High in the Arctic, a dramatic rise in lightning in 2021. It is up exponentially. So look at that. So this is some of the evidence of the magnetic excursion we're going into, the weakening magnetic field, and some of the results on Earth. Very spectacular. In just the last year, we have an increase in thousands of % of lightning in the Arctic. So heads up there. Get your lightning helmets. NASA rocket launch might be seen Saturday night on the mid-Atlantic coast. So heads up. This goes all the way up from Connecticut all the way down. Well, you can see it from North Carolina to Connecticut. You may be treated to a rocket launch Saturday night. It's 11 p.m. NASA plans to launch the rocket between 11 p.m. Saturday, 3 a.m. Sunday from the Wallops facility, and it could be a wallop of a launch. So keep your eye out there on the East Coast. Put your cameras to the sky and send us your footage. Now, let's go back. What are they sending up to space? Well, here, if you read the article, it's quite interesting. Scientists hope the rocket will offer more insight into the source of soft X-rays, which hurtle towards Earth from elsewhere in our galaxy. What they did here is wordplay. Instead of saying a cosmic ray detector because of all the things that are happening that they're hiding from you, this is a soft X-ray detector. And in English, that means cosmic X-rays. So if you want to know more about cosmic X-rays and why NASA is going to space with new equipment to study these cosmic rays that are pummeling Earth at record rates. In fact, we just came off of a cosmic ray alert. So put 2 and 2 together, and you know that the powers that be know exactly what's happening, and they're hiding it from you, in fact. But we're not. In fact, we are entering a new horizon. After waiting 2.5 years, our Starlink order has been confirmed, and it's going to be delivered in just 5 days. So within a week, we could have the fastest internet on Earth, and we will have some of the most enhanced podcasts and interviews coming soon to the platform. And that's a boom to knowledge and to high-speed internet. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. It's winter. It's snowing. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Be safe. Starlink.